To my channel. My name is Mehek. I hope you guys are all fine, and like always I also hope that you guys are reading. Back with the book of the week that I finished. Before I talk about the story, I just wanted to tell you that how much I love this book briefly, because it's actually a Japanese literature, and I just want to tell you that how much I think. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you guys are all fine, and like always I also hope that you guys are reading. Back with the book of the week, which is actually by Japanese author, but it's been translated in English. And I just want to quickly add how much I enjoy Japanese literature. I think I find them so calming. The narratives are so meaningful and reflective. I think they manage to convey the complex of emotions in the most simple and poetic way that you are left wondering, within. I'm usually like, wow, like how did they do that in the most simplest of way? And I think this book was no different. It's called The Sweet Bean Paste. It's by Durian Sukegawa. That's how it looks. It's the paperback. It's got the 3 characters, which I'm going to talk about shortly, and it has cherry blossoms. Now, coming to the story of the book, one of our character who is a chef here that you see is Sentaro. He is someone who works in a confectionery shop in Japan. He is someone who spent his few years in jail, and now he's working in this confectionery to pay off some debts. He basically makes this dessert called Dorayaki, which is nothing but pancakes stuffed with the sweet bean paste. And but he doesn't really enjoy this job. He doesn't put his heart in it. He's not happy about it. Because he always wanted to be a writer, but somehow he's not finding because he has to pay the debts, he has to obviously work in the shop, but also he doesn't really find meaning to his life and his days. He is basically a very unhappy man who doesn't have any hope. So he basically spends his day, in the confectionery, and in the evening you see him drowning his sorrows over alcohol. Now, one day he's looking for a helper, so he puts this ad outside the shop looking for a helper, and he sees a little woman who is short in height, and she's 76-year-old. Her name is Tok. Now she comes looking for the job, and she says, I would love to work in the store. Now obviously his reaction is no, because she's 76 years old, very old, and he's just wondering how she will go around and do the work. But also one of the reasons for him denying her the job is her appearance. So she's someone with disfigured, crooked fingers and paralyzed face. So he feels that hiring her in the store would only put customers off, so he doesn't want to do that. But the woman turns around and starts talking about his bean paste and tells that it's really actually not great, and she makes a sample for him, and he tastes it, and he just is blown away. He feels that this is the best bean paste he has ever tasted in his life, and he feels that this might improve the sales and the walk-ins of the store. Now the only problem is he can't allow the customers to see her because of her appearance. So they make an arrangement that she'll just be working in the kitchen and come for a few days in a week. She won't be allowed to come on the shop floor. Anyways, Tok is very happy because she's finally getting to work in a confectionery shop, and she always wanted to do that. So we see her, she joins the store, she starts making the best bean paste, and the sales starts increasing. Also enters our another character, which you see here, a teenager girl. Her name is Wakana. She starts frequently visiting the store, and she somehow befriends Tok, and there's a very unlikely friendship that starts between these 3 people. They start opening up and sharing some aspects of their life. All is good, but suddenly a rumor starts, which kind of results in Tok leaving the job, leaving the confectionery store and saying goodbye to her friends. The reason being now, here is when we go in the background story of Tok, who up till now seems like a mysterious character in the book. She is someone who has survived leprosy, so she has been an ex-leprosy patient, but it's been many years, I think almost 30 years, that she has been cured of leprosy. But people are still biased and prejudiced towards her because of her appearance, and they still assume that, leprosy is still, although she's been cured, but this is something, she's still infected and she can, pass on the disease. And because of this, it has been so difficult, like it's been so many years, decades, that she has been cured of the disease, but Tok has not been able to start a new life. Her family does not, after she was cured, her family didn't wanted her. No one was ready to hire her. So because of these biases, it was very difficult for, Tok to start a new life or get back to earning, which is something which is highlighted in the book by the author. The plight the leprosy patients go through, because of the stigma in the society towards them, or the prejudice towards them. People are always wary of them, still thinking, even after they've been cured, still thinking that they can, infect others. And, just because of their appearance, like she had a paralyzed face and, disfigured fingers. So there was always, people would always get put off by looking at her. So there are two things that I think the author addresses in the book. One is obviously the stigma and the bias that the leprosy patients go through, how it is so difficult for them to, finally get back and be accepted in the society and start afresh. He has also spoken about, the fear, the loneliness that these patients go through. Like, Tok's story is so saddening. Like, she was only 14 when she was diagnosed by it, and since then she has been living in a sanatorium. She was taken away from her family. Now, a sanatorium is basically an establishment where, patients who are suffering from such kind of an illness, which takes a while to heal, are put. So she's being taken from her family when she was just 14, and she was put there. And she's 76 and she is still living in that sanatorium. And you just hear her story and hear about her journey, and it is just so sad. So that is another thing, that the author has addressed in the book. But I think one of the most important thing that he has kind of asked all the readers in this book, or questioned, that what is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of life? These are the questions that he has asked in the book. So is the meaning of life, or the purpose of life, is to be important or a value adding member to the society? Is it that, the society has certain parameters of success? So is it about ticking off all those parameters? Is it about, achieving all the items in your bucket list? What is it, Because if you talk about Tok, she was, denied. Like, she got ill when she was 14. So I'm sure she had a lot of aspirations and dreams towards her life, but all of that was taken from her. And even after that, if she wanted to live a normal life, she didn't get that. So just because she didn't live the life the normal way, or got to do the things which, a successful person in a society is deemed to do, does that mean that her life was a failure? Or, not just Tok, any one of us, we have these parameters that, or, parameters that the society tells us that you need to be doing, to be a successful human being or a value-adding human being in the society. So, so the author questions, does doing all this only makes your life meaningful? Because maybe, perhaps, he leaves us with the answer that not might be true. Because, the purpose of life can also be just listening and observing things. Just listening and observing the world around you, listening to the people, valuing them, nurturing the relationships, forging the relationships in your life. That could be the meaning of life. The purpose of life could be, stop and be mindful of the present situation that you are in. Admire the, like Tok always did. She always admired the moon and the cherry blossom trees. She took time to stop and look around, So maybe that's what the world wants us to do. It really wants us to stop, listen and observe. So even if you just do that, maybe you've had a meaningful life, and it not need always, fit on those parameters laid down by the society. And I think that was a very beautiful message that author gave us in the book, which made me really think. Quickly, I'll just read out one of the, lessons that Toke imparts to Sentaro through one of her letters. She says that the time you suffered behind bars, you're finding Dorayaki, I believe it has all purpose. So, Sentaro is always sad that, he never could become a writer. He is not doing a great job at making Dorayaki. So what is the purpose of his life? It's meaningless. And she says that all experiences add up to a life lived as only you could. I feel sure the day will come when you can say, this is my life. You may never become a writer or a master Dorayaki cook. But I do believe there will be a time when you can stand tall as yourself in your own unique way. And I think, this made me think that, I have done a few courses in the past, and I always thought that I am going to be so and so, And now, I'm not that person. I'm not doing what I aimed initially to do. Sometimes I think, was it a waste doing that particular course or going through that experience? But the second moment I realized, that's not true, because, I personally take every experience as a learning experience. So I might not be doing something that I, initially thought I would be doing, but I'm sure all the experiences I've had in the process has made me the person I am today, and I'm sure, they're going to add value in the future as well. And I think we all need to remember that, we have these aims for us and goals for us, which is fine. Sometimes we are not able to achieve them. It's okay. And we should just cherish the present moment and cherish the small victories along the way. And at the end of the day, I think all these small milestones will add up to the big goal that we are, destined to achieve in our life. So I think this book was so beautiful in imparting that wisdom. Obviously, by now you can gauge that I would strongly recommend this book to each one of you to read. I think it's very beautiful. I loved all the characters, especially our three main characters. They're so good. I love Toke's wisdom. She's shared a lot of wisdom in this book. She not only helps Sentaro, to kind of ace or make the perfect Dorayaki, but she also helps him self-discover on who he is, and what is the meaning, what could be the meaning of life for him. Like she says, that she shares in the book with him that although, I was not given a fair chance at life, but instead of thinking about what I didn't get or the disappointments in life, maybe I should just concentrate on the present moment and be mindful about it, and have a gratitude about the things that I have, because what that does, it kind of instills your life with a positivity, and we all need to be positive. So that's all on this very sweet book. Please give it a try and let me know if you've read it, or please share with me any of the other titles by Japanese authors that you are aware of. Actually, this book was recommended to me by Anup, who is one of the YouTube subscribers, and he recommended me, and I'm so glad. So thank you so much, Anup. So any one of you recommendations, please share with me. I will see you guys next week with another title. Till then, take care. Bye bye.